Japanese Tales, A Toad to Reckon With. Once a big toad lived in the so-called guard's gate into the palace compound and used to trip people up. Every evening at twilight, it would come out and sit there, looking like a low rock. No one heading in toward the palace would fail to step on it and fall flat, as the toad hopped off into the gloom. The victim might learn his lesson and look out next time, but for some reason he would always step on the toad again anyway, and take the same tumble. Now a certain student at the academy was a great fool, always braying with laughter or spouting loud abuse. In time he heard about the toad, and allowed that it might get him once, perhaps, but not a second time. No, indeed, not even if someone were lurking in the shadows to help it with a push. Darkness was falling. As the student left the academy, he remarked that he was off to see a lady who lived on the palace grounds. Within the guard's gate sat the toad. "Oh, there you are you?" the student sneered. "Well, you may get other people, but you won't get me." As he jumped over the toad, his hat unfortunately slipped off, hitting his foot as it fell. "So, you'd like to trip me, would you?" the student bellowed. "We'll see about that." He stamped violently on this toad of his, but the hat was the stiff lacquered kind worn by the gentry, and it resisted being crushed. "Damn toad, stupid toad, think you're so tough, huh?" The student summoned all of his pitiful strength and stamped like one possessed. Some gentlemen came out to see what the commotion was about, sending servants ahead to light the way. The student knelt according to etiquette as the servants approached. Coming upon a disheveled young man, they asked him what he was doing there. The student identified himself in the tone of a warrior on the field of battle. "You have surely heard of me," he declared. "I am a history student at the academy, Fujiwari no Thiyamachi by name, and concurrently charged with visiting justice upon this toad, which trips people at the guard's gate." "What in the world is he talking about?" laughed the servants. "Get him up, let's have a look." They pulled him roughly to his feet, tearing his cloak and wounding his dignity in the process. When he felt over his head, he found his hat was gone. The servants must have taken it. "Why did you steal my hat for?" he roared. "Give it back this minute. Give it back." The servants lunged at him and chased him away. As he fled down the avenue outside, he fell flat and scraped his face all bloody. But he picked himself up and ran on, hiding his face behind his sleeve, till he was quite lost. Finally he glimpsed a light. It was a little house. Alas, despite all his knocking at the door, the people inside naturally refused to open up. By now it was so late that all he could do was lie down by the ditch till morning. When the neighborhood awoke at dawn, they found him there, in his sad state, and cried out with surprise. It was only by asking constantly for directions that he managed to finally find his way home. They really used to be fools like that in the old days, even in the academy. Apparently, since the fellow was a student there. How odd that he had been so hopeless, yet so clever, in school.